Netflix, this will be the most watched fight, championship fight, in almost 50 years. But overall, I have to say Crawford. If you go down the list and ask me about tactical advantages, most of them are Crawford.
Without the strap. Okay. Shit.
Come on. Yeah, get it. 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 Get it. Go. Yeah, move out the way. Yeah, move out the way. Yeah, move out the way. Yeah.
Just shocked. That's the only way to describe Max Kellerman's reaction after watching the newest training footage of Terence "Bud" Crawford.
Number one fighter in the world.
What's your name?
Pound for pound, Terence Crawford. He going for 42-0.
Where's he from?
Omaha, Nebraska.
Height and weight.
You understand?
Who's he going against? Let's take him
Canelo
down.
Alvarez, Canelo.
Oh my God, are you
Canelo.
serious, bro? Good luck. You're the man.
Undefeated pound-for-pound king has always been known for his slick boxing and razor-sharp ring IQ. But now, he looks like a completely different fighter, bulked up, ripped, stronger than ever. The transformation is so dramatic that fans are asking the question nobody thought possible. Is Canelo Alvarez walking into the toughest fight of his entire career? And it's not just fans buzzing. Analysts, promoters, and even rival fighters are weighing in on this blockbuster super fight. Some saying Crawford is about to shock the world, while others insist he's biting off more than he can chew. Before we dive into Kellerman's surprising take and why his words have sent shockwaves through the boxing community, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe, because this story is only getting bigger.
I think unless Crawford, Crawford was on a knockout streak until he moved up to junior middleweight and then failed to stop Madrimov. So, and Canelo, though he has not stopped anyone in a while.
Now, here's where things get really interesting. Max Kellerman isn't just any voice in boxing. He's one of the sharpest analysts in the game, a guy who's been breaking down legends for decades. And after stepping away for a while, he's officially coming back as part of the broadcast team for this super fight. That alone had fans excited. But then came his reaction to Crawford's new training footage, and that's what really lit the fire. Kellerman openly admitted he was shocked by what he saw. Crawford didn't just look prepared, he looked transformed. The lean welterweight frame everyone was used to had been replaced by a bulked-up version of Bud that looked like it belonged at super middleweight. Still fast, still precise, but now carrying muscle and power in ways fans hadn't seen before.
The last time I saw Crawford, he moved up yet another division, beat at the time the guy I thought was the best fighter in the division. Turns out he wasn't, but I thought he was at the time. And before that, had just annihilated Errol Spence. So if you look at all the boxes, I'm going to check Crawford for most of them, if not all of them.
And Kellerman didn't stop there. He broke down the matchup the way only he can, pointing out that Crawford still holds advantages in speed and ring IQ. In his words, "If you look at all the boxes, I'm going to check Crawford for most of them, if not all." Strong words, especially coming from someone who has called Canelo one of the sport's all-time greats. But here's the twist. If Kellerman believes Crawford checks nearly every box, then why is Canelo still the betting favorite?
So as an overall suite of skills, recent vintage, it's been Crawford.
Okay.
But Canelo also is skilled and has a larger skeleton than Crawford. No matter what they weigh, Canelo's the bigger guy.
Kellerman himself gave the answer. It comes down to size, durability, and experience. Canelo Alvarez turned professional at just 15 years old. He's been fighting at the highest levels of boxing for nearly 2 decades, taking on giants like Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev, and Dmitry Bivol. He's a natural super middleweight, comfortable carrying that size, and his ability to adapt his style to different opponents is part of what's made him so dominant. As Kellerman put it, Canelo's a naturally bigger guy, and that's why he's favored. In other words, Crawford may check more boxes in theory, but the one box that could matter most, size, still belongs to Canelo. And Kellerman isn't alone in thinking this way. Plenty of fighters and insiders are weighing in, and the opinions are split down the middle.
I think if anybody has a chance to beat Canelo, I think it's Terence Crawford. His IQ is on another level. He's a great fighter and he's strong. It's just that it's a lot of weight. I wouldn't be surprised if Terence Crawford wins. Wouldn't be surprised if he loses either. Terence Crawford, when he went up against the best opposition, like Earl Spence, he showed what level he's on, what type of dog he is. So I don't know. You really have to let these fights play out to see what happens. He might get hurt. That might activate him to come back strong.
Take David Benavidez, for example. A man who knows firsthand what it means to compete at super middleweight. Benavidez didn't sugarcoat his thoughts. In his eyes, the size difference is too much to ignore. Canelo's gonna win only because of the size, Benavidez said. And he's not wrong about the numbers. Crawford is moving up 3 whole weight classes, while Canelo has spent his career dominating naturally bigger opponents. That kind of leap is unprecedented. And even for someone as talented as Crawford, it raises real questions. Can skill alone overcome that kind of physical gap? Or does the body eventually hit a limit? But not everyone is convinced size tells the full story.
He couldn't cut the ring off. I just feel like the timing now, the age, Canelo is amazing. I mean, not just because of his ability and what he's accomplished, but the fact that he still has the desire.
Eddie Hearn, the veteran promoter, actually leaned slightly in Crawford's favor, which raised eyebrows. He admitted Canelo would come in as the favorite, but he also made it clear he wouldn't be surprised if Crawford pulled it off. Still, Hearn added the warning everyone's thinking. The million-dollar question is how he responds when he gets hit.
Man, I really see, I see that Bud's gonna do good. He's gonna do good, but I don't think he's gonna win. But I do see Bud like getting a lot of punches off, being able to tag Canelo with some good shots, but they have no effect. That's the thing.
Then there's Ryan Garcia, who had his own blunt take. Garcia respects Crawford's skill set, the ability to box, to bang, to switch styles on the fly. But even he couldn't ignore what he's seen in past fights. Sometimes he gets cracked with crazy shots. Against someone like Canelo, who's made a career out of absorbing punishment and countering with precision. That's a dangerous weakness. And finally,
Canelo and Crawford going up against him. So the only thing they have, but I would say the only thing he has going for him is he's a skillful fighter, and Canelo is older, but so is Crawford too. I think Crawford is 37, 38, something like that. Canelo's 36, so they both are older right now. But man, I don't personally see it. Now, a lot of people see that Crawford can beat Canelo. It's just like that punch resistance is something else. They make weight classes for a reason. If he could beat him, man,
Regis Prograis gave the most cut and dry response of all. Weight classes exist for a reason. No matter how great Crawford is at 147, 154, or even 160, stepping into Canelo's division is a different beast entirely. Still, critics can debate size all day, but the training footage that Kellerman reacted to tells its own story, and it's a story that suggests Terence Crawford might be rewriting the rules yet again. The footage that shook the boxing world. Terence Crawford stepping into the gym, looking nothing like the fighter fans have grown used to at welterweight. His shoulders, broader. His arms, thick with muscle. His chest, filled out like he's been living under the squat rack. And when he hit the heavy bag, the sound wasn't the usual sharp pop. It was a deep, echoing boom. Every punch seemed to rattle the gym walls, sending the message that Bud isn't just coming up in weight. He's coming up with real power. Fans online were quick to react. Some were stunned at how much size he'd packed on in such a short time. comments flooded social media, asking if this was even the same fighter, with some fans half joking that Crawford looked more like a middle linebacker than a welterweight. Others worried. Had Crawford sacrificed his biggest weapon, that lightning-quick hand speed, in exchange for raw muscle? But Max Kellerman didn't buy that narrative. He said he still saw the same sharpness and snap in Crawford's punches, just now backed up with more force.
Oh, yeah. Since 2001. Oh, he an asshole. Oh, yeah. They moving like they ain't gonna put down. They used to do that. They gonna bite your bottle lip or something. That's great. You're gonna fight jail.
In Kellerman's eyes, Crawford hasn't lost a step. He's simply added a new gear. And if that's true, then Canelo might be staring down a version of Bud we've never seen before. But while Crawford's transformation dominated headlines, another story added even more fuel to the fire. And it had nothing to do with Bud himself.
Let's go. Yeah. Let's go, baby.
Jaron Boots Ennis, one of boxing's brightest rising stars, was revealed to be sparring with Canelo Alvarez in preparation for this fight. On the surface, that sounds like an incredible opportunity, iron sharpening iron, but the boxing community didn't see it that way.
One more thing. It don't matter if Canelo is on that. He ain't beat no Terence Crawford. You heard it here first. Plus, I look at the performances of Canelo. I look at his last performances. I mean, they've been all right, you know. It ain't been like, you know, wow, you know, blew me away.
Timothy Bradley, never one to hold back, went straight for Ennis's neck. He blasted Boots for accepting the sparring role, saying, "You a world champion and you a sparring partner now?" Bradley didn't stop there. He accused Ennis of being scared of real ones and even claimed Boots had ducked an interview with him, hanging up the phone rather than face tough questions. For Bradley, this wasn't just sparring. It was a bad look for a supposed rising champion. And that sparked a bigger debate. Was Boots Ennis selling himself short by becoming Canelo's secret weapon? Or was this a smart move, a way to test himself against greatness? Either way, the drama made headlines, with Ennis positioned as both a hidden advantage for Canelo and a target of heavy criticism. Here's where things got really spicy. Crawford himself responded to the news of Canelo bringing in Boots for sparring, and he did it with a laugh.
He's not me.
Yeah.
You know, as much as a lot of people, you know, say we have similarities and, you know, we switch a lot and we fight a lot. He's not me, you know, and I'm not him. So
yeah. Tim had said comparison that like he's like a Chrysler 300 and you're like a Bentley.
Cool, calm, and dismissive. Bud joked that if he wasn't dangerous, Canelo wouldn't need Ennis to prepare in the first place. In Crawford's eyes, that move said more about Canelo's worries than his own. And then came the mic drop moment. Crawford declared that after September 13th, there would be no excuses. No talk about weight classes, no chatter about preparation, just the simple truth of what happens when the two step into the ring. Max Kellerman echoed that confidence. For him, Crawford already checks nearly every box except natural size. But if this bulked up version of Bud really carries power and speed at 168, then even that one missing box might not matter. And if that happens, the entire narrative flips. Suddenly, it's Canelo who has questions to answer. That's what makes this fight so fascinating, the unpredictability. Legends and analysts alike can't seem to agree. Mike Tyson has leaned one way, Antonio Tarver another. Promoters like Eddie Hearn give Crawford a slight edge, while fighters like Benavidez insist size is everything. The split is real, and it only adds to the hype.
All of those doubters
at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, they all gonna cry when they get home. You know, and I've been there.
What time is it? What time is it? Terence.
The big question hanging in the air is simple. Can Crawford carry knockout power into the super middleweight division? We've seen fighters move up in weight before, but rarely has anyone made such a leap against such a dangerous opponent. Crawford's speed, timing, and adaptability are elite, but Canelo's chin and durability are legendary. What happens when the unstoppable skill meets the immovable tank? That's the chess match fans are dying to see. So here's where we stand. Max Kellerman, one of the sport's sharpest voices, admits he's flat out shocked by Crawford's new look. Fans are split between awe and concern. Other fighters are throwing shade, taking sides, and turning up the drama. And in the middle of it all, Terence "Bud" Crawford looks calmer and more confident than ever. So the question remains, is this new, bulked-up version of Crawford the one to finally dethrone Canelo Alvarez? Or will moving up 3 weight classes prove to be too much, too soon? Fight night will give us the answer. But for now, even Max Kellerman, a man who's seen it all in boxing, can only say one thing. He's shocked. Let us know your thoughts in comments below. All right, guys, for the best updates on boxing news, moments, events, and actions, subscribe to Knockout Updates and turn on notifications to never miss out on quality content. And check out our other videos. Until next time, peace out.